So this was the typical Trumpian speech with all of its bravado and falsehood.
And our country is back, stronger than ever before.
Word affordability, and that's their only word. They say affordability, and everyone says, oh, that must mean Trump has high prices. No, our prices are coming down.
Inflation has stopped.
False. Inflation has not been stopped.
When I took office, inflation was the worst in 48 years, and some would say in the history of our country. I am bringing those high prices down and bringing them down very fast. To slash prices on drugs and pharmaceuticals by as much as 400, 500, and even 600%.
Need I say more about the falsehood of this, considering that, well, if you bring down prices 100%, you brought them down to zero. So unless you're getting paid to pick up your prescription drugs, I don't think he's brought them down 400, 500, or 600%.
Everything else is falling rapidly.
No, actually, housing prices are up, grocery prices are up, car prices are up, even the price of Donald Trump's ballroom is up.
I've secured a record-breaking $18 trillion of investment into the United States, which means jobs, wage increases, growth.
Well, his own website makes clear that's false. His website claims that they've secured $9.6 trillion in investment.
Next year, you will also see the results of the largest tax cuts in American history.
Well, first of all, the tax cut the Republicans passed basically benefits very wealthy people and large corporations. But number two, it isn't the largest tax cut in history. That was under Ronald Reagan in 1981.
12 different bills up into one beautiful bill. That includes no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. With law enforcement and words such as that just absolutely forbidden.
That's, of course, a farce. In fact, the Biden administration invested about $15 billion in law enforcement and in violence and community-based prevention, something that the Trump administration has been cutting.
Our country was being invaded by an army of 25 million people.
Well, I'm not sure where to begin with that one. There was no army invading us, and it certainly wasn't 25 million people. That's just a number pulled out of, well, wherever Trump pulled it out of.
I've restored American strength, settled 8 wars in 10 months.
Well, that 8 that he includes lists wars that are still going on. It lists wars that were not in fact wars. It lists wars that where the violence has resumed once again. So that number is a pure fiction, but it is a pure fiction designed, I guess, to earn him some kind of a Nobel Peace Prize. Apparently he's not particularly satisfied with the FIFA soccer Peace Prize.
Destroyed the Iran nuclear threat.
Yes, the Trump administration bombed some of Iran's nuclear facilities.
In addition, I'm doing what no politician of either party has ever done, standing up to the special interests to dramatically reduce the price of prescription drugs. I negotiated directly with the drug companies and foreign nations, which were taking advantage of our country for many decades.
Sadly, what Republicans have tried to do is reverse progress we made in the Biden administration by letting the government negotiate down the cost of certain medication.
And I used the threat of tariffs to get foreign countries who would never have done it to pay the cost of this giant dollar reduction.
Average American families are going to expect to pay $1,200 or $1,300 just this year alone in the Trump tariff tax.
And you see that now in the steep increase in premiums being demanded by the Democrats, and they are demanding those increases, and it's their fault. It is not the Republicans' fault.
This is so patently false. Of course, it was the president and Republicans in Congress who took the money out of the healthcare system in their big ugly bill and gave it in a tax break to big corporations and wealthy people, who took away those tax credits from the Affordable Care Act that have pushed up premiums by double and that have also cut Medicaid drastically. That's going to result in the closure of many hospitals. This is Trump and the Republicans. They know they own it, despite Trump's yelling to the contrary.
The current Unaffordable Care Act was created to make insurance companies rich.
No, the Affordable Care Act was designed to help millions of people access health care, and it was successful. It brought millions of people into the healthcare system. Here was one of Donald Trump's conclusory statements.
1 year ago, our country was dead. We were absolutely dead. Our country was ready to fail, totally failed. Now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world.
No, the country wasn't dead before he took office. And as for our being the hottest country in the world, it is true that Americans are feeling the heat, but I don't think it's the kind of heat that Donald Trump is talking about. It's the kind of heat you feel during summer when you can't afford air conditioning. It's the kind of heat you feel when you're unable to pay your rent or mortgage. And if Donald Trump believed that his broadcast last night was going to persuade Americans that the economy is better than they think it is, that they don't have it so difficult, that if they just wouldn't buy so many dolls, they would be fine, I don't think it was successful.